The North London derby between Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur has always been one of the most anticipated sporting events on the planet. This latest showdown, part of match week 12 of the 2025-26 Premier League season, takes place at the Emirates on November 23rd. And it's not just another derby. It's a potential turning point that could shape the entire first half of the campaign. Arsenal enter the game on top of the table, determined to protect their #1 spot from a relentless Manchester City. Spurs, meanwhile, sit 5th and are battling through an injury crisis. They desperately need a statement win, not only to revive their top 4 hopes, but also to prove they still have the mentality of a big club. The 8-point gap between the two sides sets the stage for a perfect storm. For Arsenal, it's a chance to show they're truly stable and built to last. For Tottenham, it's a moment to create a spark, to swing momentum back their way, and to ruin the plans of their fiercest rivals, something they've always had a knack for doing. Arsenal come into this derby with 26 points, but behind that strong position lie plenty of concerns. Their run of 10 straight wins was just snapped by a disappointing 2-2 draw away at Sunderland. And the problem wasn't just dropping points. It was the way their usually rock-solid defense conceded twice. Before that match, the Gunners had kept 8 clean sheets in a row, a testament to the discipline Mikel Arteta has drilled into his squad. But the trip to the Stadium of Light exposed cracks, especially late in the game when focus slipped. What's more worrying is the timing. Just as Arsenal showed signs of fatigue, Manchester City have hit the accelerator, cutting the gap to only 4 points. That makes this derby more than a rivalry. It becomes a psychological battle to keep their lead intact. A defeat at home could shake confidence and pile massive pressure onto a team already carrying the weight of 2 decades without a Premier League title. Arteta's men have to prove they've learned their lesson from Sunderland and that they're ready to stand firm in one of the biggest pressure moments of the season. As for Tottenham, sitting on 18 points, they're going through a rough patch with 2 winless games in a row. They're now clinging to 5th place only thanks to goal difference. At this moment, Spurs can't afford to look at their current form. The North London derby has never been a match decided by form anyway. It's a battle where emotion and fight often matter more than any statistic. And Tottenham have always had that ability to explode in big games. History leans toward Arsenal, who have 89 wins compared to Spurs' 67. But at the Emirates, the advantage becomes even clearer. Arsenal know how to make this stadium work for them, feeding off the energy and noise of their fans. Last season, they completed the double over Spurs, including a 2-1 comeback win at the Emirates. That memory gives Arsenal extra confidence heading into this derby. For Tottenham, it's a reminder that they must find a way to break the psychological and tactical grip Arsenal often impose at home. Squad fitness is becoming a major concern for both sides ahead of this crucial showdown. Arsenal are dealing with serious problems in both defense and attack. Their biggest blow came recently when star center-back Gabriel Magalhaes suffered a severe groin injury while on duty with Brazil. He left the pitch in clear pain, and if the injury is confirmed as a grade 2 strain, Arsenal could be without him for several weeks. Losing Gabriel doesn't just weaken their defensive structure, it also removes one of their biggest threats from set pieces. Up front, Gabriel Jesus isn't expected to return until the end of the year. On top of that, Victor Gyökeres is still recovering from a hamstring issue and has already missed the matches against Slavia Prague and Sunderland. The one bit of positive news for Arsenal is the possibility of Calafiori, Odegaard, and Kai Havertz returning in time for the derby. 3 pieces Arteta desperately needs to restore rhythm, creativity, and flexibility to his attacking system. On the other side, Tottenham are also drowning in an injury storm, with as many as 13 players sidelined at different levels of severity. The latest setback came from Pape Matar Sarr, who picked up a knock while playing for Senegal, adding yet another name to an already worrying list. Recently, Christian Romero and Randall Kolo Muani both limped off during the 2-2 draw with Manchester United, while Mohamed Kudus had already been out since the week before. Lucas Bergvall returned to the club early after suffering concussion effects. Spurs are still waiting for updates on Archie Gray, Ben Davies, and Dominic Solanke. And even though Kulusevski and Radu Dragushin are slowly recovering, neither is fully fit to start. Bissouma and Kota Takai remain without a return date, and James Maddison is already ruled out long-term. Heading into this massive clash, both teams could line up in their expected shapes. Arsenal will likely start Raya in goal, with a back four of Timber, Saliba, Hinapi, and Calafiori. Eze, Zubimendi, and Rice are set to form the midfield spine, while Saka, Marino, and Trossard provide the pressure and movement up top. Tottenham may go with Vicario behind a defense of Porro, Danso, Van de Ven, and Spence. In midfield, Bentancur and Palhinha anchor the team, with a front trio of Kudus, Simon, and Richarlison supporting Kolo Muani as the central striker. Overall, Arsenal enter the derby as league leaders but carry obvious concerns, both from their recent draw and from key injuries across the squad. Tottenham, despite their inconsistent form, have a habit of showing up in big games, especially against Arsenal. This won't just be a tactical or form-based battle, it's a test of mentality, belief, and resilience at a moment when both teams desperately need a win to reinforce their ambitions for the season. For Arsenal, the biggest pressure doesn't come from Tottenham. It comes from the giant shadow of Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's side are once again playing their familiar waiting game. With 6 titles in the last 8 seasons, City know exactly how to build psychological pressure. In the next 3 match weeks, City will play before Arsenal every single time, and that's a brutal mental blow. Every time City win, the weight on Arteta's players grows heavier, forcing them to respond with a victory of their own. It means Arsenal are not just racing against City, they're racing against their own fear of slipping up, and things won't get any easier. Arsenal are entering what many fans are calling a death run. Tottenham at home, Chelsea away, Brentford at the Emirates, Aston Villa away, and Wolves at home. It's a brutal stretch against teams with completely different styles and demands, but Arsenal still have reasons to believe they can power through this phase. Their set-piece efficiency, a hidden weapon that often decides tight matches, a strong defensive core, and a midfield built to control games, improved squad depth, giving Arteta more rotation options and better fitness management. In the end, this North London derby is a full-scale battle of mentality, nerve, and psychological endurance. For Arsenal, a win isn't just 3 points, it's a statement of their title ambitions. For Tottenham, it's a last chance to spark a revival and drag themselves back into the top 4 race.